Today we have a book haul, and it is actually new books this time. Most of my hauls previously have been stuff I've picked up for bargains. Really just kind of wanted to share with you that reading doesn't need to be expensive and you can look after the environment, but obviously I like to support authors as well, and I do buy new books, so I thought why not show you some of the books that I picked up. So if you've been watching the channel, you probably know I've been reading in the realm of the Eldlings. In fact, I finished the Farseer trilogy, and though I didn't want to start anything new right away, I do plan to get to Live Ship Traders. So there is a library slash coffee shop that I attend occasionally, and I wanted to support them and Robin Hobb, so I went out and picked up Ship of Magic, which is book 1 in the Live Ship Traders trilogy. It might be a quadrilogy actually. Again, I haven't started this yet, but this will definitely be on my 2023 TBR. The next thing I picked up was mostly because of Michael K. Vaughan. I believe it was he that recommended this to me. This is The Great God Pan. Now this is quite thin, as you can tell. This is a novella, so this is less than 100 pages, and I picked this up from, I think I had to pick this up on Amazon. It wasn't the easiest to kind of track down elsewhere, but I am really interested in reading this, and I'm hoping to sneak this into my spooky TBR for this year. The next book I picked up, which I'm really super excited for, is Frozen Hell. Now, the movie The Thing, the 1982 version, is one of my 10 favourite movies of all time. And the book that inspired it, Who Goes There, is a book that I wanted to read very much. But when I found out that actually John W. Campbell's original notes and his original manuscripts were found recently, in recent years, and then released in full with all of the additions, the backstory, the pieces he wrote in almost sequel for the book were re-released as Frozen Hell. I just had to pick it up. It's running low, the stocks of this book. I don't know if they're going to do a reprint, but I would go out there if you have any interest and get it quite quickly. Right, next I picked up something from Amazon Prime Day. I went on there just to see, just in case, and I already owned a copy of this book because I had planned to read it either next year or the year after. But I picked up a copy of Dune. This was a slightly nicer copy than the one I had, and it was almost half price. So to pick this up for probably what was about $15 in the US, I had to do it. I had to jump and spend some money on Amazon Prime Day. Next, I got a book that is a self-published book. Now, I don't have a lot of self-published works, but I was looking at a lot of Goodreads reviews and trying to find people that are interested in similar things to me, and what did they think was a good self-published book to start with. And I picked up Fire and Sword. This is by Louise Turner, and I've heard this is quite a traditional fantasy book. It's quite chunky. It's quite well put together. It's a trade paperback, and you can pick this up for about $12 to $15. So I would recommend, if you like traditional fantasy, look at the reviews for Fire and Sword. I'm certainly looking forward to reading it, and I'm glad I picked it up. Then also on Amazon Prime sale. Now over here we don't really get Barnes & Noble, but I know they release some nice special editions, and on Amazon UK they did a sale on the Barnes & Noble books, and I picked up Victor Hugo's Les Mis, which is a very nice edition, and The Count of Monte Cristo, which I already do have the Penguin Classics version of, but because it was abridged, I wanted to get a full version as well. So yeah, I picked up those two very long books. Now, I could have fitted one of those into my TBR for this year, but I have made a promise to myself, to my soul, that I will read War and Peace this year. So I will have to put these on the back burner for now, because that has to take precedent on my TBR at the moment. And then finally, I do read comic books. Now, I may not read many anymore, but as any child that grew up in the 80s will know, you know, comic books were a very big thing, and one comic book that I hold probably in the highest regard was The Watchmen. And so I had never read Doomsday Clock. Now I know Doomsday Clock isn't written, and it is nothing to do with Alan Moore really anymore, but the fact that DC Comics have given it to Jeff Johns, anyone that knows DC Comics, Jeff Johns is like, I don't know, you know, he's probably the Brandon Sanderson of DC Comics. So to give it over to Jeff Johns does leave me with some hope that this is going to be of a similar quality to the original. I certainly hope so. So this is part 1, and I'll probably pick up part 2 if I enjoy it. So that is the final thing I got for this book haul. Please, in the comments below, let me know of any books you picked up recently and what you think of any of these. If you've read these and you want to give me a recommendation, please, I can move it up on my TBR.